Last time on iHeart Pickleball, we heard the emotional story of Jerome Collins. This month, we travel to Colorado to meet Pickleball Ken and hear how he's using the sport to change people's lives. iHeart Pickleball is powered by Highlands Leg Cramps, proud supporter of pickleball players everywhere.
I am Pickleball Ken Markwart, and I live in Arvada, Colorado. I traded for a living. I would go around the country and I would buy factories out. Then I would turn that around and make it nicer and then repackage it and trade it off to other companies. Now I have the opportunity for people that have problems and trade that for pickleball in our community. I have overcame several challenges in my life. I have had cancer back in 1979. I've had 2 total shoulder replacements. I've had 2 knee replacements. I just keep bouncing back. Pickleball has totally changed my life. I could not play sports anymore because of my injuries. I heard from a classmate. She knew I could not play tennis anymore, and so she said that they are motorhomers and they won't stop in a motorhome park unless there is pickleball. And so I looked up pickleball on the internet, and at that time there was only one place in the Denver area to play.
I first met Ken. He came in there with a friend of his and started playing pickleball, and he just fell in love with the game. I mean, every time he came, he just started bringing more and more people to where we was playing, wherever we was playing. And he finally, he's kind of outgrowing the place in Lakewood. I'm from the north area here too, and he says, we got to find some place to play in this north area.
The director of Apex, Mike Miles, and I talked about our community needs outdoor courts. Mike had 10 acres off of 82nd and Sims. We put our heads together and drew up some plans, and then we went to Jefferson County Open Space, and that's lottery money, and made a presentation. And on the first 8, we got $255,000, and then we went back a year later for the second 8 courts. And when we're done, that will be a $1.7 million project. No tax money.
When he sets out to do something, he does it. There's no stopping him. So beware.
And we want to honor all veterans, whether firefighters or policemen, and especially the military. And that's why the park is named Community Heroes Park.
His day, from the time he gets up to the end of the day, he's thinking about how can he make more people enjoy pickleball and how can he make their lives better. He is a very driven person. Just about anything he's ever done in his life, he just drives as hard as he possibly can, and that's what he does for us with pickleball.
When I started playing, it changed my life, and then when I saw a lot of people with sadness in their life, and they just forgot all about that and just played the game of pickleball. So it's really good for them mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Ken seeks people out, people who need a new group of friends, or people who need some socialization, or people who need some exercise. He just makes it happen for them. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and I went from working 50 hours a week to working 0 hours a week. I went home and sat in a chair and thought, I'm just going to call it quits, and I grew weary of that in about 30 minutes and decided I needed to do something different than that. So we went to pickleball, and I think that we have not missed playing pickleball for the 4.5 years since we went the first day. Ken takes care of people. If he hears somebody needs something, he rounds up his pickleball posse and makes it happen.
My name is John Polhamus, and I've been playing pickleball for 2 years and 2 weeks. I know when I started because my stepdaughter had just died. Well, life was dreary at that point. After our daughter died, my wife was pretty sick, and my health was going down the tubes pretty fast. I went to the gym to work out, and they were doing this weird thing in the other side of the gym, so I had to go watch, and Ken gave me a paddle and said, come on in. I still have some rough days because my wife died 9 months ago. And there were hundreds of people from the pickleball community showed up at her funeral, be there in support of us. That was amazing. Playing pickleball has been my salvation through this whole process. It's difficult to talk about, but when I'm on the pickleball court, I concentrate on the ball. I try and focus on the ball, and that's a good relief for me.
Prior to pickleball, I ended up getting rheumatoid arthritis, probably at the age of 45. And at that time, I had to have foot surgery. I have had 2 hip replacements, 2 knee replacements, and also a shoulder replacement. So my body was fighting the arthritis. And when I started playing pickleball, it was amazing how I could move and play, and I didn't feel at all like I had had any kind of a disability whatsoever. Ken is one of the greatest people I think I've ever met, and his philosophy is everybody can play, you know, just given the right tools to be able to do that.
My name is Leonard Nelson. I'm a retired Navy fighter pilot and airline pilot. In 2003, I was skiing up near Winter Park, and I caught an edge, and my skis came off, and I slid backward into a tree and became paralyzed from my waist down. Ken introduced me to pickleball. It changed my life dramatically. I play pickleball now 3 to 5 times a week, indoors and outdoors with all kinds of people, and it's great fun.
You know, the culture that Ken has really promoted here is that this is a sport that's open and available and possible for anybody. Wheelchair, kids, emotionally disabled, mentally challenged are all welcome in this sport.
We started clinics with autistic kids and disabled kids. I had a mother come up to me that their son was 17 years old and never stood up in his life, and she had tears in her eyes, and she said, "Thank you, Ken." And it just totally changes my life and other people's lives, and so I wanted to share that with everybody.
My name is Mike Leeper. I have known Ken Marquardt, Pickleball Ken, for 2 years. I am a Vietnam veteran. We're having so much fun playing pickleball, and yet we are wanting to give back. We have just a wonderful group of volunteers. In Pickleball Ken's thoughts, you know, we should do more. Part of the development of the outdoor pickleball courts is the Eagle. Heroes Park talks about the heroes of all the veterans that are out there, and it was like, what can we do more?
And so we talked one time and we said, let's do something for the community. And what better thing to do for the community would be for the wounded veterans of Colorado with traumatic brain injury.
My name is Greg Archer. I'm a single dad of 3 children. I am the executive director of Task Force ISO, stands for Imaging Support Outreach. We partner with a lot of other nonprofits providing images of once disabled veterans that are now enabled through the power of adaptive sports equipment. I served for 7 years in the United States Army. In August of 2008, while serving my second tour in Iraq, my patrol was hit by 2 IEDs. It caused brain injury from the concussive blasts. So in Colorado alone, over 7,000 veterans returned with a traumatic brain injury.
The tournament, we named it Pickleball for Heroes, and we used it as a fundraiser, and our first year was last year, and all the money that we got from the registration all went to the Operation Freedom with traumatic brain injury. 100% of the money went there.
It's raising money to help soldiers with traumatic brain injury, to help families become whole again, to help the person become whole again. I went through Operation TBI Freedom. I've never been involved in an organization that ever made me feel so much as being part of a family before and comfortable.
We raised $43,861, and this year we want to raise over $100,000.
It all came with a group of people getting together and saying, these veterans are heroes to us, and let's have a pickleball tournament in their honor.
We get that connection into our local community again, and that's what we're doing with Pickleball for Heroes and through Operation TBI Freedom, making people part of the community again.
And if we can give back to them, that will leave a lasting legacy for us, for pickleball, for the park itself, and I think it's part of just bringing that whole picture together. Pickleball Ken's mantra is pickleball changes people's lives. He truly believes that.
He had the foresight when nobody else did to understand the need for something in our community to bring people together, and that was a good sport that anybody could play.
Ken has such a heart for people, and pickleball is just a vehicle for taking care of people.
Ken's like a magnet to this game. I mean, he loves the game so much that anybody he talks to had to go try pickleball.
He shows you the community, and he shows you the love that it comes, and you absolutely can't get away from it.
He is such an ambassador to pickleball, to our community. He grabs people, gives them a paddle, and gives them a little bit of a direction, and they start playing. So he has done more for pickleball, I think, than any one person that I can even think of.
I mean, I just love pickleball, and it's a privilege to be involved in this, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Pickleball can change lives, and our goal is to change every life in the community.
We have a great community here in the pickleball world, and we owe it all to our great leader, Ken Marquardt. He's just Pickleball Ken.
No matter where you are, pickleball can bring us together to celebrate community, learn new things, and have fun. If you know someone we should feature on a future episode, we would love to hear from you. All you have to do is send us an email and tell us your idea. This episode of I Heart Pickleball has been brought to you by Highlands Leg Cramps, America's #1 over-the-counter leg cramp medicine. For more information, go to highlands.com.